We've signed a big deal with Netflix, but we're very under the radar. Very. If you go to anybody who watches YouTube and they say, who are the top two? They'd say Jimmy and I don't know. And they'd say Stokes twins.
They might say Ryan Trahan. Yeah,
they'd say anybody but us. Your viewers would have no idea that that's the reality, but it is.
Over the past year, one of the biggest stories in entertainment has been the battle between Netflix and YouTube. And over the past few months, we've seen Netflix try and make up ground in that battle by signing deals with YouTube creators. These have come in a variety of different forms. We've seen original shows get booked with creators. We've seen licensing deals for podcasts and shows that they have. And now we've seen a different type of deal that was just announced this week with Jordan and Salish Matter. Jordan spent most of his career as a photographer and took to YouTube to make videos about photography and grow his photography business. It now has over 30 million subscribers. They've done 13 billion views, and it really took off when he started making videos with his daughter Salish. Over the past few years, Jordan and his daughter Salish have grown into some of the most popular creators on the platform, and Salish actually is one of the most popular people in the world. If you go to the website famousbirthdays.com, which is kind of like Wikipedia for Gen Z, Salish Matter is the #1 most searched birthday on that website, over Taylor Swift. And the internet really saw how popular Salish was when she launched her skincare brand at the Sephora of the American Dream Mall in New Jersey. Over 80,000 fans showed up and they had to shut down the mall. This version of a Netflix deal that Jordan and Salish got is really different. So I wanted to have Jordan in the chair to explain the deal and talk about this current moment that we're seeing with Netflix pulling YouTube creators onto their platform, trying to become more relevant to a younger audience and trying to operate a bit more like YouTube. So this is my conversation with Jordan Matter about his Netflix deal. Okay, Jordan, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So obviously we've talked about this off mic, but I think it's a conversation we should bring to our podcast listeners.
Yes.
You have signed a deal with Netflix.
We've signed a big deal with Netflix. Yeah, super exciting.
It's super exciting.
Very.
First of all, congrats.
Thank you.
I'm fascinated by this moment. It's something we've talked about quite a bit on the pod, is that this convergence of digital and traditional. It feels like now it's how much more can we talk about it as like two separate worlds? It's one. Yep. But tell me about this deal that you signed. Just explain to everyone, what is this?
We have a very unique deal that nobody else has been given up to this point. So you're seeing some development deals come out. Alan Chicken Chow has one. Jimmy, obviously, the Beast Games 2. What that is they present a show with a budget, and then the streaming service greenlights it, and then they make it. We have something different, which is a talent deal. So we have agreed over the next 3 years to create 3 to 4 shows for Netflix. We'll do that with Netflix, but we have creative control over those shows. It's a huge leap of faith in us and a lot of trust, because we did not come to them with a show at all. They came to us with interest in us as talent, and then they want to develop something with us together.
So what those shows are that's up in the air right now.
Yes, we're in the process of developing them now. Lots of meetings, creative. They're amazing. Their creative team is really exciting to work with, and they have their own team that's developing ideas. We are developing ideas, then we come together and talk about them, and we will together come up with the best idea, and we both have to green light it. So they can't say to me, you have to do this, and I can't say to them, you have to do this. Once we agree on a show together, then we go into pre-production.
What happens if you don't agree on a show?
We will.
You will.
We have to.
Got it. You have to. Understood.
Yeah.
So who came to who in this scenario? Like for us as creators right now, like I think a lot of us have gotten calls from the streamers, specifically Netflix. But they've been, at least for us, they've been very exploratory. Who came to who in this context?
We spent the last year and a half developing an animated show. And we took it out to the market, to Amazon, Disney, and Netflix, among others. And right when we were starting to get those meetings, we launched our Skincare Sincerely Yours at the American Dream Mall. And 87,000 people showed up to that, which was the largest creators event in history. That went super viral. And then all of these companies are now like, wait a minute, maybe there's more to this than just an animated show. And Netflix and other, I shouldn't say who, but other companies were super, super interested in developing a bigger relationship. And we basically just kind of fell in love with Netflix, and they were very open to allowing us to have a lot of creative control with which we thought was super important.
It does feel like this moment in time, we were talking about this on a panel earlier. I've described it as the abundance era of content because there's just so much. I told you some numbers up there, but 20 million videos uploaded to YouTube every day, 95 million photos and videos uploaded to Instagram every day, 23 million videos uploaded to TikTok.
It's crazy.
And a moment like that, that you guys had at the American Dream Mall launching Sincerely Yours, signifies to me and to the rest of the industry, like, oh, out of the 20 million videos uploaded every day, these videos clearly matter to people.
Yes.
So, and actually viewership numbers don't tell me that.
No.
They don't tell me that at all.
Not at all, actually. And as a matter of fact, we didn't even know, and we got a lot of views. We had no idea that people would show up. So we showed up at the mall with absolutely no idea, hoping 1,000 or 2,000 people would show up. So it was the first time we had ever done anything. So we were learning, just like everybody else, that actually this relationship we've been building with the audience over the last 5 years actually did resonate with them to the degree where they were willing to fly from all over the world to see us.
And what right now, if we talk about some data about the channel, what's like the average viewership of an episode?
In terms of what? Like how many people?
How many people watch?
Usually anywhere from 8 to 10 million the first week, and about 40 million over time per video. Mostly US based. We only dub in Spanish a week late, so they're not dubbed views. We're not on YouTube Kids, and they're all long form, about 30 minutes.
30 minutes in length. And how long are people watching?
We're anywhere from 48 to 52%.
That's insane.
Yeah,
right.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
It's really all of it's crazy.
And so that obviously has then skyrocketed Salish to being one of the most popular people in the world
within the demo. That's what's interesting, right? Like, right now, Matt Damon and Ben Affleck have a show on Netflix, okay? And they're recognized by every demo anywhere they go. But will
you think so?
I think for the most part.
Like you and I will definitely recognize Matt Damon and Ben Affleck.
My Salish knows who they are.
Okay.
Right? Or let's use somebody like Ariana Grande or any of them, right? Some massive celebrities are recognized, wide appeal, but do they have a passionate fan base? I don't know. Some yes, some no. I don't know.
Right. If Matt Damon opens a coffee shop.
Exactly.
Is there a line on opening day?
Exactly.
I don't know.
Whereas David Dobrik opens a pizza shop and there's still lines.
Yeah.
So there is that connection between the audience and the creator because you've invited them into your home. When we launched Sincerely Yours, one story I'd like to tell is that when we had the meeting with Sephora to try and get them interested in us, and they had no idea who we were. And we came in with all this data and they're like, okay, data is whatever. Why is your product going to sell better than Ariana Grande's product? Ariana has a beauty line in Sephora that has, I guess, had underperformed. And I said, are you a fan of Ariana? And they said, yeah. I'm saying, all right, what's the color of her bedroom? What's the name of her dog? And she had no idea. I said, this is the difference, okay? Because our audience will know the answers to those questions. And I believe that the relationship between creator, influencer, and audience is so much deeper than between celebrity. So there's a lot of places we can go where nobody will know who we are. But the people that do know who we are really invested because we're invested in them and they're invested back in us.
So then content-wise, is the deal with, like, is there a cast of characters that Netflix wants in each show, or is it just Salish? Is it Salish and you? Because even when you say that, like when I look at your videos, like there's a cast.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
And so my assumption would be if I'm Netflix, I'm like, bring the cast. Is that the context, or is it just bring Salish?
I think if I pitched an idea that didn't have Salish, they'd be like, okay, wait a minute here.
Of course.
Yeah. I think she and I will probably be in the first show because that's most consistent with our channel. We're trying to find something that makes sense from our channel that's elevated. However, we're also looking at the huge audience that has no idea who we are on Netflix that should also be interested in the show. So with Jimmy, I think it's very obvious, okay? I'm a master of ceremonies. I have game shows. Let me just exaggerate it by 10x, and that's the show, and it works. For us, we are not massive. We're not scale. We are intimate. We're about relationship-based channel. So how do you scale that?
I mean, the obvious there is reality show, what the D'Amelios did, what the Kardashians have done, right? Like if we're actually saying like, what is the next step? If, when I looked, and this is weeks ago now, when you uploaded Salish's 16th birthday episode. 28 million views like that.
Yes.
Super popular episode. To me, that feels akin to how people watched Kylie Jenner grow up.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
And so I think the obvious answer is reality show.
Except that reality shows exist in conflict. And so,
what do you mean?
As in, just think about an episode from D'Amelio's or from Kardashians. It's not like everything is chill. It's like, there has to be conflict. There has to be problems. I don't want to have conflict with my daughter. It's not something, I don't want to create an environment in which we need conflict in order to drive views.
Sure.
The way I see the channel is I'm just building memories with my daughter at this point, and I want everything to be magical and special and fun. So I would say that for this show, it needs to be something that keeps the energy, which is a playful banter. And it's a bit performative, but it's all based in real scenarios. And how do we elevate that? One obvious thing would be, a game show of some sort between parents and kids. But then I think that our audience actually is more interested in watching Salish experience something and less interested in watching her host something. So that's kind of where we're at right now. It's like, what is that middle ground?
Sure. Yeah, it's really interesting because I think what happens on YouTube for creators when they move to streamer, it can't be a far departure. It actually has to be, basically, how do we do this on a bigger scale or on what do we have access to now that we wouldn't otherwise? And I think the CEO of Mythical Entertainment, Brian Flanagan, said to me, it has to rhyme with something, meaning Jimmy and Beast Games is kind of like Survivor. It kind of rhymes with it, right? It's not exactly the same. It's not the same thing, but it kind of rhymes with it. Yes. I loved when he said that because I was like, I think as we all move to streamers, we can't just concept like a completely brand new thing, especially because there's a bigger audience that's never heard of you. So then that means it has to rhyme with something.
I love the rhyme with something. And a couple of ideas that we're working on currently do rhyme with things.
Cool.
And so that could be a direction. But yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah. So, and I imagine that part of also the X factor of Netflix, even when I think about it, because I oftentimes think about why would creators do a streaming deal?
Yeah.
You reach 40 million people with your show. Why? One of the reasons is an irrationally good economic deal.
That's one option.
Right.
Yes.
That's one option, which
it
is,
is. Yeah.
If Netflix offers me an irrationally good deal, of course it's a yes. Right. And they have that ability.
Yes, they do.
Which is, okay. So it sounds like you're not going to say the number, but it sounds like it's a good.
I think that's an aspect of the decision.
That's an aspect of the decision.
Yes.
Hypothetically, that would be an aspect of your decision.
Hypothetically.
So I think that's one. The other is like access. And the other is budget to do something. So,
and time.
Interesting.
Because we make a video every week. So our process is Tuesday through Saturday, we're in pre-production, and Sunday we're filming. We only want to film one day, so Salish can have a regular life the rest of the week. So we have to get our 30-minute video done in one day. Now, anybody that makes 30-minute videos that get 50% retention, understand that that's very hard to do if you have a month, much less one day. And that's what we do every week. So what I'm excited about creatively is I have a production team that's helping me. I have the support of Netflix. I have their resources and their connections, and we can come up with something that we can take 3 weeks to film.
Yeah.
That's so exciting.
Yeah.
So creatively, it's the next step up. Very important to never forget that all of this happened because of YouTube, and to stay consistent with our posting and to make the content just as good as it was, but then somehow find another gear to shift into for Netflix.
What is success to you for the show, and what's success to Netflix, you think?
Number one show on Netflix.
Number one show on Netflix.
That would be success for both of us. Now, that might not happen, but that would be what success is. I don't think, and again, I don't want to speak for Netflix, but I don't think that it's about driving subscribers as much. It's about relevance. It's about owning the creator space. It's like they're heavily invested in creators. They get it. They really do. They get the passion of the audience. They get the creativity. We're used to a very quick turnaround, and they're very excited to work on that in a way that isn't as, I don't know, predictable as a lot of Hollywood content is. It's a new thing. And one of the things, to their credit, is they've said, don't try to be anything else. Don't try to do a show that isn't you. You're here because of what you've done on YouTube. Let's figure out a way to elevate that a bit, but really it's the same show.
I think there's another element to why creators should take the deal. And it actually, it really came up when we were in Montana together at Spotter Summit, and Issa Rae was speaking to us, which is marketing. And I hadn't thought of that before. But if there's one thing that Hollywood has been exceptional at, it's marketing.
Yeah.
And you becoming the number one show on Netflix, I would assume, or even in the pursuit of that, in being partnership with Netflix, there's a lot of incentive to market Salish, to market you, to market the show.
Yes.
And again, in a sea of content, in a sea of creators, you start to stand out.
Yeah.
When you have a marketing engine behind you.
That's true. It takes you to the next level. However, there's some pros and cons of that too. Because right now, I mean, we're in the top 2 US views on the platform after Jimmy, right? So that's incredible, but we're very under the radar.
Yeah.
Very. If you go to anybody who watches YouTube and they say, who are the top 2? They'd say Jimmy and I don't know. And they'd say Stokes Twins. They'd say
They might say Ryan Trahan. Yeah,
they'd say anybody but us.
Yeah.
Your viewers would have no idea that that's the reality, but it is.
Right.
So that's a good place to be, especially when you have a daughter and you care about her emotional health. She and I have talked a lot about this. Like, look, we go to Netflix, a lot of people are going to have opinions. Those opinions might not, for no reason, they might just want to come after you. Who's this 16-year-old who's suddenly on Netflix? Why do I care? Well, let me knock her down a few pegs. And I think you get increased exposure, but you also get increased criticism. And that's something that we're going to have to be ready for, because not everyone's going to love what we do, especially because they won't know who we are. And Salish has no real interest in fame. So it's not like she's pursuing it and wants to be the most famous person on the planet. She just loves making content. She was excited about the Netflix thing. But I don't necessarily know that she wants to experience all that. And so that's one of the conversations we've been having.
That's complex, because a lot of people who get it all kind of reflect on the beauty of anonymity.
Yes. Yeah. And it just dominoes.
Yeah.
You start by doing content with your kid, and it's like, the thing is, it's fun. We have so much fun, and she loves doing it so much. And she sees the opportunities in the future. Potentially she could start her own business or whatever, production company. She sees it, but she's never into it for fame. So when that recognition comes, it's almost a byproduct of it. And now she's got to adapt to that. But by the time that happened, you're already there. Right? So to stop, well, that's stopping the fun thing for the thing that already exists. So that's the dance we've been doing. It's like, are you good? Because she said, if I could go to a mall and nobody knows who I am, like, that would be a great day for me. That's her perspective, right? It's like, okay, say when we do the Netflix thing, it might take you to more of the mall experience.
You might not be able to go to the mall. Yeah.
Right. And that's a real conversation that you got to really address and think, is this what you want? It's exciting, but also that's a byproduct of it. And I think it's important for anybody who works with their kids to have very open, honest conversations about, is this what you want? And I think she's old enough now to really be able to make those decisions, but it's something that we'll see. I guess one of the benefits of failure would be anonymity, right? So if you want to see glasses half full either way, if we succeed, that's awesome. If we fail, then you can go to the mall.
Yeah, I mean, the worst case scenario is the show failing, but
no anonymity.
No anonymity.
Everyone's like, loser, your show sucked.
Yeah, but I mean, I appreciate you bringing that up, because I think that's, of course, like we're talking about the business of the creator economy, the fact that we have companies like Netflix coming in, and like, this is a really exciting moment. But when you're doing something with your kid, and when you're doing something in that space as well, there's a lot of just real human life considerations to it.
You
of
have
course.
to. And Netflix has been the home of some very rough documentaries about family channels. Yeah. Deservedly so, those channels, I think. And I never wanted that. I never wanted a relationship with her that was built on acrimony or built on her feeling any pressure. And every week we always check in. Do you feel like filming this week? How do you like this idea? Listen, if you want to stop doing this, give me 3 months notice so we can kind of tell the audience we're winding down. The way I see this now is I'm making memories with my daughter. And what I love about this deal more than anything is I just got 3 more years of memories. We signed up for 3 years. So now we get to create content together, whether or not it's on YouTube or Netflix or both, for another 3 years. And for me as a dad, that is all that matters.
I should call your contact at Netflix and say, listen, I got a son. I'd love to make some memories. What kind of deals you offering?
He might be a little young, your son, but soon.
He's too young. Yeah. Yeah. I'm curious if you could take me into the room with Netflix and expand a little bit for everyone about this moment in time, because I look at this moment, it's finally here. You know, Fox just launched Fox Creator Studios.
Mhm.
Netflix is clearly interested in our world. You know, they're even interested in podcasts. They're interested in everything. Jimmy's the number one show on Prime Video. Like, it's here. All of our friends are now making the shows that are, you know, especially in the unscripted world. But we've even seen it in scripted with the Rocka Brothers making a hit movie with A24. Like, our friends, the people who have made content for the internet age are now getting to make content with the establishment of Hollywood. Is this moment over in a year? Meaning, like, are they not as excited in a year? Are the outcomes actually going to be there? This is why I'm so curious about what's inside that room, because I'm trying to navigate what success means and how this continues.
Okay.
You know, are they giving irrational deals to the point where they're going to look back and go, Specifically in podcasting, I look at this and I go, with Netflix, like, I hope this is a sustainable strategy because this is cool, but are we going to hear about Netflix podcasts in 12 months? I don't know.
Right. It's a great question. I think it's about the quality of the content. I mean, if you talked about how many videos are produced every day, but think about how much content is on Netflix already.
Yeah.
They don't need more content. They need unique content, exciting content. And as long as the creators are able to deliver that, I think they'll be excited because you're bringing a natural audience. But I think, if you think about YouTube right now, how many creators are making content worthy of a bigger platform? Maybe millions, maybe not, right? Like, the question is
millions of creators?
No, not really. I'm just trying to be generous. Like, how many
I actually
people,
don't think I don't know if it's 100.
Exactly.
I think there's a very scarce group that can make stuff, and that even has the operational know-how or the instinctual know-how to make stuff.
Because YouTube inherently is not built for that kind of production. So most people are not thinking of it that way. Creativity is very simple on YouTube often, and yet it's much more complex on Netflix. I mean, the difference we're looking at is we have to make a 30-minute video a week now. We're going to have to make 10 hours of content for one show. So the difference between asking somebody to watch 30 minutes versus 10 hours of a 10-episode show
of one that has one arc
is a completely, I believe I can do it, but I haven't done it yet. So I'm sitting here now. Let's meet in a year and see how it goes. Because I don't know. I just believe strongly that we can find it together to create something amazing. But I don't think a lot of people will be successful at it as much as they may seem that they would be successful based on the views they're getting on YouTube. I think they're two totally different beasts. So probably there'll be, a pendulum swing back where there's some successful shows, some not successful. We'll probably see some very successful shows from creators who maybe don't have 20 million view average per video, but really have a niche or have a specialty, and that excites people. And then they make a show that gets very popular.
I think there may also be, again, what happens here, when we sat with Daniel Ek from the founder and CEO of Spotify, he had this line to us that I'll never forget about, we asked him about that moment of the $250 million Joe Rogan deal and the, $60 million Call Her Daddy deal. When that first moment happened, we were like, how does that, what was that? And his answer was he wanted to inject energy into the space. If they were going to be a podcasting company, they needed podcasting to be aspirational.
Smart.
Very smart.
Very smart.
It is the best case scenario to be on the receiving end of that.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And I'm wondering if that is partially what's happening here, where you get to be on the receiving end of this moment of injecting energy into the space. We're
in the right moment.
You're in the right moment.
Because we're early.
The correction that may or may not happen, I mean, one version of it may be that, you just make a hit show and you're the best at making a family-centric show for Netflix. And that has been proven. The correction that's, I think, my assumption that happens next is there is a packaging and pairing of talent where they go, Jordan knows a lot about capturing attention in this space. But there's also another great director and showrunner who's been doing this for 25 years who also knows a lot. What happens if that's a show team?
Yeah.
That's now a powerful show team. And I don't, I saw it firsthand with my eyes with Beast Games, where I saw Jimmy's team and I saw the traditional team, people who had been making reality competition shows forever. And they were kind of butting heads in the first season. And, we obviously made a behind the scenes piece where that's like the core concept of the piece is watching them butt heads. But then when we saw them come together, we were like, wait, this is a really powerful team. They're coming up with really unique ideas. And even as I'm watching season 2, I think the twists at the end of every episode in season 2 are some of the best twists I've ever seen in reality TV. And then I look at this 10 years out and I called Jimmy and I told him, I was like, this, Beast Game season 1, I was like, this is cool. I think you're doing a big thing. You're doing a cool thing. Season 2, I'm like, oh, this could be a franchise. And so that's what I'm curious about is actually looking at creators right now. The industry is looking at us as like full one-stop shop production houses in a way where it's like, come up with the idea. We trust you, do everything, bring us a show. And I think the situation that may occur is like, you guys know a lot about something, but we shouldn't throw away what has happened in Hollywood for the past 100 years. Like people know a lot about how to make good entertainment and make long lasting franchises. Let's just pair these people together because now it's interesting.
That's what our deal is.
Right. Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. That makes sense.
So we did not bring them any of that.
Right.
So
you didn't bring them a show.
We didn't bring them a show, nor do we have a production company. So they're not expecting us to create it in any way. If we're going to come up with the show, then they're going to introduce us to several different production companies and we'll decide which one will work together. When I say creative control, I mean, they're giving me the option to be as invested as I want to be in it. But most likely I'll say, you guys have done this. You know more than I do about it. You take the lead on this. And I'll tell you when it's verging off the path of what would make sense for our audience.
Yeah.
So we're exactly the test case for that.
Right. That'll be really exciting to watch. I'm very curious about this moment. Yeah. I'm over the moon about it because when I first started on YouTube in 2011, I was like, I think this is going to happen.
It's happening.
And now it's happening.
It's happening. I mean, Netflix is actively interested in creators.
Yeah.
I know that, other streaming platforms are as well. And, if you've got multiple options, I say go with Netflix because I just they're so good to work with. They're really for example, they kept saying, because I kept saying in the negotiations, Salish's time is primary to me. She has to be able to be a kid. We can't send her to Romania for 3 months. That won't work. And they're like, of course, I'm a mother and we will only commit to the show that allows her to have her ability to go to school, see her friends, do her sports, and then find time to film it on the side. So they're really willing to work with. It's not just that they're taking our audience and saying, make something. They want to, I think, have a long-term partnership with us. They don't want it to be 3 years unless all the shows bomb, right? But I think they're looking at long-term relationships with creators, much like they looked at Adam Sandler long-term relationship with the talent deal he got.
Essentially an overall deal of some way, shape, or
form. And they're looking at it long-term.
Yeah.
And it's really exciting.
Okay. Can I pitch you some shows?
Yeah, please.
Okay. So first, full disclosure, I am a investor in Sincerely Yours skincare brand.
Yes.
So I'm interested.
Couldn't have gotten there with Adam.
Yeah, that's right. I'm interested in how those two things tie together. I also am just obsessed with the name Sincerely Yours. I think it's fantastic.
Thank you.
Okay. If we think about a show that rhymes with something that has worked really well, I think one of the most, if you look at Netflix, a lot of what works on Netflix is actually death and disaster.
Yes.
It's murder mystery. It's poop cruise. It's these things that are death and disaster. So then I look to the wholesome direction of what works in wholesome. What works in wholesome programming is transformation. So Queer Eye, successful show on Netflix.
Yes.
Feels good. You cry, you feel great. I think we can come up with a show that maybe rhymes with Queer Eye here.
Yes.
You already have. Okay, got it.
It's not that I have, it's that we created it together with Matt and Rebecca at the Spotter Summit.
Got it. Okay,
so one of the ideas was incubated at the Spotter Summit.
Yeah.
And it's one of the ones that Netflix is considering.
I think that there's something like that. Where,
yes, absolutely.
Where there's transformation. There's can I make someone's dream come true? Can I take someone from? But to me, they write in a letter and sign it, "Sincerely yours."
Dude, that's so good.
Yes.
Okay, hold on. I got to go back to Netflix and say, scrap everything. We're doing this.
It's called "Sincerely Yours."
I want to say what the idea is, but you're supposed to not say this stuff.
Don't say it. Don't say it right now. We'll watch it on Netflix. I know that there was a discussion about a road trip idea. I'm not positive on that one because I don't think I've seen anything that captures attention in that way.
And that's not a thing we do.
Yeah, I think the other thing that I think is interesting is because of who Salish is, there's a lot of celebrity kids who are fans of hers, correct?
Yeah.
So there's a talent play here where it's you and Salish versus, Khloe Kardashian and her daughter, and a cooking challenge, that's something that I see.
Okay, see, that's interesting because if we hatch the show on your show, that's so cool.
Yes.
But so that's very fascinating to me because what we've been thinking about is what sort of game show?
Yeah.
Because that is a format that works, right? That could we do? Because I don't necessarily think that us as hosts is that exciting for our audience.
No,
I think boys versus girls, kids versus adults.
Yeah.
Generically, parents versus their kids. I don't know. Us versus a celebrity family.
Yes.
Very fun.
That's fun. And I think what I could see is
very fun.
Imagine there's, Try Guys have a show called Without a Recipe, which I think is a fantastic show. I think something similar with like something that you have to build without instructions or a recipe that you have to make, like what the Try Guys do. But I imagine it being where like Salish and maybe Khloe's daughter are in the like competition room. They have to start and they get X amount of minutes. You and Khloe are in another room. You don't know how far they've made it. You guys then swap and get in. And you're like, what did Salish do? Okay, that's what she's doing. What is she thinking here?
That's super cool.
And you start making based on what she was doing, but you actually have no idea where this thing is going to end up. So you just have ingredients. Again, this could either be building or cooking, but you have ingredients. You have to make something in the 30-minute allotted time. It's kids and parents on the same team, but they don't get to see what each other are doing. And you have to see how connected.
Okay, that's really interesting because we're at the Lighthouse right now. Yeah. And at the Lighthouse, somebody just came up to me right before this and said, my daughter's a fan, I want to pitch you something. Salish cooking show.
Really?
Yes.
Well, I think cooking is just fun. Cooking has always worked, right? Like I think for forever we will watch cooking as humans. We will always watch people cook. My wife almost exclusively watches cooking content.
Do you think there's something interesting in the same people cooking every week though? So if it would be me and Salish always versus another couple, another group, is that okay? Or is it because usually it's new people? That's to be TBD.
Yeah, I think the alternative is like the challenges are different each, but I'm not sure how much that is working in episodic content right now where it's like start and finish an episode and you don't have to go watch the next episode. I think it has to all build to like one eventual thing.
Generally, it seems
right now, right? It feels harder to contain it in like episode 1 is cooking, episode 2 is building, I don't know. So I think you guys being the through line is super important. But yeah, you're right. I'm not sure. Either it's like a set of 10 families and it whittles down to one winner at the end, or it's you guys versus every episode. Yeah.
Or it could be Salish versus some Netflix kid. Get Owen Cooper in there. You get Sadie Sink in there. Yeah. She's always going after a different, challenge or something.
Yeah. Or Rober. I don't know if he's open to it, but Mark and his son.
Could be interesting. Yeah. There's a lot.
And maybe at the end of the series, if just to tie a through line to it, you guys are opening a restaurant with with every dish that you made along the way and inviting a bunch of people.
Okay, now you're
because
now
every
you're thinking
dish is,
Netflix big.
Yeah.
Because up to that point, I was like, well, I could kind of do those shows.
Right.
But now I can't do that.
Yeah. And then people are judging the dishes. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe we could get there at the end, but this is real time. We aren't in a room thinking yet.
Yeah, I love it.
But those are two ideas I could see.
Dang, you want to come to all the meetings with me in Netflix? And then you could pitch your idea with your kid.
Sounds like a good memory. Yeah, for the right price, I'll make some memories with you.
You won't do it for free. Give us all your time.
So when can we expect to see the first show?
I think our goal is at the end of this year. That's
really?
that's a huge lift.
Wow. First show in 2026.
That's our goal.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing. And are you talking to some of the other creators who have gotten Netflix deals? And does it feel like I'm watching Mark Rober become a Netflix guy? He's hosting more stuff on Netflix. He's becoming like Netflix talent.
Yes.
Is it fair to assume that there's going to be kind of a roster of Netflix talent that you will join, that you'll be probably pulled into other shows as well and be a part of their ecosystem?
They're respectfully understanding Salish's time for school, but are very interested in that kind of relationship for sure.
Yeah.
Yes. So it just depends on her level of interest.
How does YouTube feel about it? Have you talked to them?
They've asked. I think that YouTube is very interested in whether these creators are going to continue to make content on the platform.
Of course.
And I've assured them, I think that the whole point is the foundation. It's a springboard. Like once you take your eye off your content on YouTube, you lose all the advantages you have for being a creator.
Right.
Because you have no way to get people to see your show or to keep them interested in you. So my plan is to keep making weekly uploads. It's gonna be hard, but that's my plan. But I think YouTube might be a little bit like, our bigger creators are now abandoning the platform for Netflix. And I don't think that's gonna be true.
Do you think YouTube would ever bring back YouTube originals to combat this? Or do you think it's just an acceptance, almost
I don't
SNL-y, where there's a lot of pride in, hey, that comedian came from SNL?
I think the fact that YouTubers are making these shows reflects well on YouTube. And I think it advocates for them well. I don't think YouTube originals would have the same cachet it had in comparison to Netflix or Disney.
I think it is always to YouTube's benefit that they don't have to cut you that check that Netflix just cut you.
Yeah.
And you will still upload. And maybe a harsh reality, but I think if you uploaded 50% less, it would impact your fans more than it would impact YouTube.
Yeah. I mean, we're renting real estate on YouTube. I don't know how much it would impact YouTube at all if we left altogether, our channel. But as a whole, if everybody starts going, then that's a problem for them.
But it is actually a net benefit to the conversation around ad dollars coming to YouTube if you're getting a Netflix deal, because it then clarifies to the advertising market that what's happening on YouTube is worthy.
That's a good point. And that's a very, very good point.
I actually think it's a net benefit to the narrative. You're right. If everyone does it, it's challenging. But I think Jimmy getting elevated is only positive.
Yes.
He's still uploading to YouTube.
Yes.
Maybe he's uploading 20% less, but it doesn't matter.
Actually, I don't even think he is.
I don't even know if
he's every other week consistently.
Yeah.
I think
actually he added gaming and reacts back. So never mind. He's uploading like more.
Doubling down somehow. How? I don't know. He does this all. Yeah. But really it's just, I don't think any creator who understands how this whole funnel works would consider stopping their posting on YouTube.
No. I agree. Yeah. So it's all in that benefit to YouTube. Yeah. Cool. Well, dude, I can't wait to see what you make.
Let's meet together in a year and see how it goes.
Yeah. Let's definitely meet together. Hopefully we'll meet together before then.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But that just sounds like a cool thing to say.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd like to see you before a year.
Sounds like a good thing.
I thought we were doing an outro there. And I was like, this is a good ending line here. And then you interrupted it.
Okay. Try a different one.
Okay. I love you, man.
Thanks. Okay. See you guys.
Use the first one.
That was great.